Drinking my green juice. I already done the beet juice already. I drunk my tea, but I was on TikTok live at that time. So I'm just trying to give everyone on each platform a little something to go to go on. So my thing is I'm coming on this morning to talk to you guys. Give me a minute. So I haven't eaten meat in 2 days. And the only meat I was eating was chicken. Because I don't eat beef no more. Well, I stopped eating beef a couple of years ago, but I don't eat pork no more. And I try to watch anything that I buy that would have pork in it. Like I try to stay away from the potato chips. And then now I'm like looking at more and more videos and I'm seeing one of my favorite cookies is Oreos, and I can't even eat Oreos no more. I haven't eaten Oreos in, it probably been, I think 2 weeks now, but I don't get them that regular. I try to stay away from all the sweets, but they're showing how they're making all this stuff, man. It's sad. And then I don't eat Chinese no more. I don't go to the buffet no more or whatever. I stopped doing that about 2 or 3 years now. But they beneath us, you know. And I'm gonna tell you why I said that. I'm not saying it in no mean way, but yeah, I am saying it in a mean way. Those are some nasty jokers. For you to, they showed a video. I seen a video. They showing where they use human people, humans. You know what I'm saying? And using them for food. That's why I don't eat buffets no more because I don't want to be eating no human. You know what I'm saying? And this video, it was a secret recorded in China. And you know, I don't want to hear nobody say, "Oh no, they don't do that over here." You're a damn lie. They done caught them with rats. Come on now. You better wait. You better stay woke. Don't let this new administration try to trick you, talking about don't be woke. We want to stop all this woke and all this here. No, no. Because my Bible teaches me, if you ain't woke, what? You sleep or dead. Correct? If you're not woke, you're asleep or you're dead. So you better be woke. Don't let them trick you and fool you. And then I got a video I'm finna get ready to show you guys of what this new administration letting you know what make America great mean. And we've been saying it. We've been saying they trying to make it white again, and they try to make the laws where we got to start back from the beginning with everything. You know what I'm saying? You guys elected this man back in office and knew he was racist. You knew it. But some of you don't care, and then half of you are racist anyway, so that's why you voted for him. Now, you guys are biting the bullet now. You are biting the bullet. So, it ain't our fault. Remember C. Murder said that song? It ain't my fault. The beef market is man. Y'all better pay attention. You better stay woke. Because if you, like I said, my Bible teaches me, if you ain't woke, you sleep.
When I think of
let's look at this video.
Imagery, I see a kaleidoscope of color, images, and forms. Andy Warhol's pop art, Clementine Hunter's folk art, Remington's Western bronze art, the diversity of what makes America great. But this administration wants to curate a far more narrow image of who and what is American. Our government's official social media accounts keep pushing through images of white families, white males as part of their recruitment strategy for the police state. Meanwhile, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has slammed, quote, fat generals. And Secretary of State Marco Rubio has instructed U.S. diplomats to consider obesity as a cause for rejecting visas. Put this all together, the tastemakers of the Trump administrations are channeling MAGA kish, and it's just tacky and worse un-American. So Peter and Eddie are still with us. So Eddie, what do you think about this? Is it a matter of taste and
oh my God, I can see
refinement, or is it a matter of morality and straight up propaganda? What's the line here? You can dislike someone's taste, but also this is just really beyond the pale.
Kitsch is kitsch. I mean,
it is pale though. All the imagery's pale.
It's very purposeful. I mean, it's harkening back to the 1920s. A period when we tend to think of the 1920s as the age of jazz or the moment in which people were dancing to Charleston, when in fact it was the age of the Klan. The Klan at its height, When we think about the 30s, this is Father Coughlin. This is American fascism. This is the Madison Square Garden with fascist Lindbergh and all this. So this, and then when we think about muscular Christianity, the very thing that gave birth to, you know, some types of football and all this other stuff, but the relationship between a certain understanding of muscular Christianity and a certain white supremacist imagination. All of this stuff is being deployed as ICE is being expanded, as it's being expanded as the largest federal law enforcement agency, precisely because it's charged with making America white again. So the imagery actually is in alignment with actual policy.
And the propaganda is strong. I mean, when I was watching the UFC fight yesterday, and ICE had a recruitment commercial during it, and you're kind of watching, and you're just like, it's basically this, but in a video form with the videos of the helicopter propelling down the Chicago residential building and taking out the kids. But it goes back to how they evoke this image of state power used against citizens.
Right, and a very particular vision of state power, right, of white male state power that's being used not against people in a foreign country, but against people in your own country, right, who don't have the right documents, aren't the right race, etc. You know, and I also just can't help, I mean, I have to say that, I mean, this may be beneath me to say this, but if we're going to start fat shaming people, right, the point here is that now basically obesity is some kind of qualification. You know, if you're obese, you basically, I mean, if you look at the top here, the problem is coming from inside the house.
Right.
The other issue is, in a lot of these images, women are not present, or they are very docile. They're essentially subjugated in these photos. They're either in the home, or they are sort of representing a sort of like virginal figure. And part of it reminds me of some of what we saw in the 1950s. You're talking 20s and 30s, but when you did see women in advertisements, a lot of it was about drugs to essentially keep them quiet in the home, a certain sphere for them, the products that they were supposed to buy to make the home run, and men are being sort of reinforced post-war as being the people who own the workforce. And a lot of that is what we're seeing, particularly coming out of the Department of Labor here. You're really not seeing women represented, specifically out of that department's propaganda and messaging. And I guess, why do you think these sort of aesthetic and visual storytelling is so important in Trump 2.0?
Oh, because we are literally relitigating the social revolutions of the mid-20th century. We're relitigating the Black freedom struggle. We're relitigating the women's movement. We're relitigating the gay liberation movement. The very things that transformed American society. And so you have at the heart of Trumpism a nostalgic longing for a world where everyone knew their place. They played their bit parts. And the white heteronormative male was at the center of everything. And I keep getting in my head trying to square that nostalgic image with Pete Hegseth trying to do a damn pull-up. Y'all remember that? And he couldn't do it. And so there's this sense in which the way in which they imagined themselves in relation to this nostalgic longing, right, reveals a deep insecurity about who they take.
I think the best example of this in this whole campaign is the misuse of Norman Rockwell's paintings. They use these Norman Rockwell paintings. I think we have some of this that we can show to basically evoke this image of, you know, white, small-town America, this bucolic Leave It to Beaver, you know, universe, when the story of Norman Rockwell is like he got woke, right? In the 60s, he painted some of the most iconic civil rights images of Ruby Bridges going to school, of what appears to be a lynching in one particular photo, in one particular painting. And so just the idea of just distorting this...
That's why, talking about make America great, make America cowards again, because they beat on little kids and hung little kids and pregnant women and stuff like that. Those are cowards. We don't want America to be like that no more, which even though they still cowards, because I see a lot of videos where it's always the white man trying to fight a woman, a black woman, always. You know what I'm saying? Because they thinking in the back of their head, they thinking about what they used to do, what they was used to able to do, which they still get away with a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And this administration is weaponizing the Department of Justice because he don't like a certain color of people. And we know what that is. And then for black people to get out and vote for this man because he put his name on a damn check that Nancy Pelosi, when they had control of the House, they said, hey, let's make sure it's the pandemic. Let's give these people some money in their pocket. And he held the check. Why don't y'all do your research? A lot of people do not do their research. He held the check for a week or two, and then he put his name on it. He wanted his name on them checks, so you would think he gave them checks to you. And black people fell for it, because we fall for anything. We fall for anything. That's just like, other cultures fell into it. I don't care. I'm not speaking for the other culture. I'm speaking for my people, black people, because that's what I am. I'm black and I'm proud. I'm speaking about our people, how we fell for the propaganda. You know what I'm saying? We fell for it. You know, he had to do that. That money is in, just like the SNAP benefits. All his money's there, and he's holding the money so you can't get no food. Because the first thing he's thinking, black welfare queen. They're not thinking about the white people they're affecting that are getting food stamps. They just looking at it because they done been told, they done lied to people. And it shows that white people getting more food stamps than black people. And then the Latinos come after us, which I don't believe that, because I always see them with them Mexicans with big buckies all the time, you know, and they don't be spending cash, because I see it. I'll be in the store half the time, you know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me, you know. But anyway, this is what they want. This is how they like America to be. Just like this here. This girl had to have security to go in school. A little kid. That's a coward throwing tomatoes and stuff at her and stuff like that. That was a coward's.
Iconic painter's legacy to reinforce this very
make America cowards again. That's what they're trying to say.
I just think it's gross in many ways.
Because it's right, because it's not history they're talking about, it's myth, right? It's
Yes.
a certain myth of what America was like, in which everyone was happy because everyone knew their role in this racial and gender hierarchy.
You see that also with the way Trump talked about Mamdani in the interview, where he goes, the interviewer didn't even ask him about it, and he just responded like, I'm better looking than him.
Oh, and all the obsession over him benching 135.
Right.
And that's not what he really wanted to kind of get at. It was just to make the reference that he thinks he's better. He represents one part of America, Donald Trump represents another, and he wanted to make it clear that he saw this vision of America better than the incoming one. Peter Beinart, Eddie Glott, thank you to the both of you. Greatly appreciate having you with us.